Hi everyone, welcome to IELTS time. Today we're talking about a part 1 topic that many students find a bit tricky: collecting things. Even if you don't actively collect anything right now, don't worry. By the end of this video, you'll hear 2 sample dialogues that show you exactly how to answer these questions confidently using natural language and personal examples. Let's start with Joseph's answers.
Do you collect anything at the moment?
No, not really. I used to collect small things like keychains and postcards, but these days I don't actively keep a collection. I think my interests have become more practical as I've gotten older.
Have you ever collected coins as a hobby?
Yes, I did for a while. Whenever I traveled or a friend came back from abroad, I kept the coins because I found the different designs really fascinating. It wasn't a serious collection, but it gave me a sense of curiosity about other cultures.
Did you ever save coins in a money box when you were younger?
Definitely. I had a little piggy bank and I loved dropping coins into it. It was always exciting to open it after a few months and realize I had saved enough to buy something I wanted, like a toy or some sweets.
Why do you think people like to collect coins or stamps?
I think it's because they're small pieces of history. A coin or a stamp can tell you something about a country, its leaders, or its culture. For collectors, it feels like holding onto a story or a memory.
Why do people like collecting things in general?
Collecting gives people a sense of purpose and joy. It's rewarding to add a new piece to a collection, and it can also be relaxing because it takes your mind off daily stress. For some people, it's a way of expressing their personality.
What items are considered collectible in your country?
In my country, people often collect things like coins, stamps, antiques, and even comic books. More recently, things like sneakers and toys have become popular among younger people.
Is collecting a popular pastime in your country?
I'd say it used to be more popular than it is now. Older generations often enjoyed stamp or coin collecting, but nowadays young people tend to prefer hobbies like gaming or sports. Still, there are communities of collectors around.
What are the benefits of collecting?
One big benefit is that it teaches patience and attention to detail. Some collections also grow in value over time, which can be a bonus. But even if there's no money involved, it's simply enjoyable and can connect you with others who share the same interest.
Would you like to start collecting something new in the future?
Maybe if I had more free time, I think I'd like to collect books, especially classic novels. There's something really satisfying about having a shelf full of books you've chosen carefully.
Do you think collecting will be more or less popular in the future?
I think traditional collecting like coins or stamps might become less common because people are more focused on technology. But I believe the idea of collecting will always be around, whether it's souvenirs from travel, fashion items, or even photos. People naturally like keeping things that matter to them.
That was Joseph. Concise and clear. Now let's listen to Ivana's answers, which are more story-driven. Do you collect anything at the moment?
No, not really. I don't actively collect anything right now. When I was a kid, I used to collect things like stickers or maybe comic books. But as an adult, I find myself more focused on experiences like traveling or trying new hobbies rather than accumulating physical items.
Have you ever collected coins as a hobby?
I've never really considered it a hobby, no. My grandfather was a big coin collector, so I've seen some impressive collections, but it wasn't something I ever got into myself. I did have a jar where I'd keep all my loose change, but that was more about saving money for something I wanted, not about the coins themselves.
Did you ever save coins in a money box when you were younger?
Oh, absolutely. I think most kids do, don't they? I had a little piggy bank, and every time I got some spare change from my parents or a relative, I'd put it in there. It was a great way to save up for a new toy, some stationery, or craft supplies I wanted. And it really taught me the value of saving from a young age.
Why do you think people like to collect coins or stamps?
I think for a lot of people, it's about connecting with history. Coins and stamps often have images of historical figures or significant events, so collecting them is like having a piece of the past in your hands. There's also the challenge of finding a rare item, which can be very exciting for a collector.
Why do people like collecting things in general?
I believe it's a very human thing to do. Collecting can give people a sense of purpose and a feeling of control over their own little world. It's also a way to hold on to memories. The items you collect can remind you of a specific time in your life or a special person who gave you something, so they have a lot of sentimental value.
What items are considered collectible in your country?
In my country, many things are popular to collect. Classic items like coins and stamps are always popular, but also things like sports, memorabilia, vintage toys, books, and craft items are very common. It really depends on what someone is passionate about.
Is collecting a popular pastime in your country?
I would say so, yes. While it might not be a hobby for everyone, there are many people who are passionate collectors. You can find dedicated shops and online communities for different types of collectibles, which shows it's a popular way for people to connect with others who share their interests.
What are the benefits of collecting?
Collecting offers several benefits. It can be a great way to learn about history or culture, depending on what you're collecting. It can also be very relaxing and meditative. For some, it's a creative outlet. And for others, it's a way to meet new people who share their passion.
Would you like to start collecting something new in the future?
I've thought about it. I'm a big fan of music, so I've been considering starting a vinyl record collection. I think there's something special about listening to music on a physical record. It's a much more intentional experience than just streaming a song. It would be a fun way to connect with my favorite artists.
Do you think collecting will be more or less popular in the future?
I think the traditional form of collecting might become less popular, but the impulse to collect will probably always exist. People will always enjoy keeping things that matter to them, whether it's souvenirs, craft items, or collectibles from hobbies. So while what we collect might change, the hobby itself will never really disappear.
Ivana's answers are excellent because they're detailed and story-driven. She uses personal anecdotes, like her grandfather's coins and saving for toys or craft supplies, which makes her answers engaging and natural. So we've just heard two sample dialogues. Joseph kept his answers short and clear, while Ivana gave longer, story-driven responses. Both styles work really well in IELTS Speaking Part 1. But now let's talk about you. If the topic is collecting things, how can you prepare your own answers? Even if you don't actively collect anything at the moment, you can still use a simple method to share personal stories confidently. I like to use a 3-step approach. First, build a personal memory bank. Second, add a cultural angle. And third, create a short why list. Let me show you how this works with my own examples. Step 1. Personal memory bank. Think about past experiences you can talk about. For me, when I was younger, I collected stamps from postcards my uncle sent when he travelled. Later, I also kept movie tickets to remember the films I watched with friends. These little stories give you ready-made answers that feel natural. Step 2. Cultural angle. Consider what people in your country collect. In my country, for example, people often collect old coins, antiques, or comic books. More recently, sneakers have become popular, especially limited edition ones. Sharing these examples shows cultural awareness, in addition to your personal experience. Step 3. Why list. Think about why people collect. Common reasons include nostalgia, to remember the past, curiosity, to learn about other cultures, and investment, since rare items can grow in value. Having these reasons ready makes your answers sound thoughtful and well-rounded. Now let's put it all together. If the examiner asked me, "Do you collect anything at the moment?" I could say, "Not at the moment, but when I was younger, I collected stamps from postcards my uncle sent me. I wasn't a serious collector, but I liked seeing the different designs. These days, I prefer to collect memories instead, like photos from my travels." Notice how this answer is clear, personal, and complete. Here's your toolkit. Jot down 3 personal examples, 3 things people collect where you live, and 3 reasons why people collect. That's just 9 items, but they'll give you plenty of ideas whenever this topic comes up. And that's it for today's episode of IELTS Time. Try building your own toolkit and practice saying your answers out loud. If you found this useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more IELTS speaking practice. See you next time.